when we got to the end, we thought, if Randall were here right now, what would he say? He would say, live in the rhythm, the rhymes when you get them, and the notes when you miss them because you drank all night long. And then I just thought, that'd be the best way to end the record. In all of his running, he showed me something. Dying ain't nothing. I can't prove him wrong.
Hey friends, it's your girl, Emily Curl, and today we are joined by Grammy award-winning country music artist and 3-time nominee at this year's CMA Awards. Ashley McBryde is here. Ashley, so good to see you. I feel like this week has just been insane for you.
It's a big week. It's a big week. And then on nomination day, you're like, oh my gosh. And then right after that is record release day. And that is like drinking rocket fuel.
I can only imagine. I mean, let's talk about these nominations for a second. Female Vocalist of the Year, Album of the Year, and Music Video of the Year. Those are huge. Yeah. What is even going through your mind today when you got the call that these are the nominations?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if there was a bigger word for butterflies, it's like that. It's like there's some type of demolition derby going on in your stomach. It just the excitement is great. And right after that, after nominations come out, it's followed by text messages from some of the people that you're nominated with. And usually it's John Osborne is the first text that I get. But it's always good to jab each other in the ribs like Miranda and I do and say, I'll see you in the female vocalist category. So there's just a lot of things to feel all at once. And it feels a little bit like when you blow in a dog's face and they just get kind of confused for a minute. That's what it feels like.
Like this is a day.
Yeah.
I remember the last time we talked to you too, we did tattoo stories. We got to hear the significance of tattoos.
Yes.
This was right before you got your amazing chest tattoo for the Grammys. As the CMAs are coming up, are you doing anything special? Getting any ink before?
I think in October, I've already called my tattoo artist and I'm going to get a couple more things. There's a little tiny space right here. Look, that's got to be filled.
Oh, for sure. We got tons of room there.
Space right there. That's got to be filled. That's got to. What are we doing with all this geography? Luckily, good things happen all the time, so I have plenty of things to put into the tattoos.
Can we just please get like an I Heart logo right here? Just a little logo at some point, just on your arm. Huge.
Yes. Why not?
Love it. Well, it's so exciting because, like you said, that obviously happened today. Your album is out. The Devil I Know. Congratulations. Yes. This is such a highly anticipated album. Walk me through, what you're feeling when this project is released into the world and what's going on in your mind.
When you make the record, from making the record to releasing the record is a year, sometimes more. So if you can think about living life every day and doing shows every night while holding your breath a little bit. And then when the record comes out, you go, finally, and you can put all of the songs into the show that you've been wanting to put into the show. And I don't know, maybe it feels sort of like, when you watch videos of like kindergarten graduations, how happy everyone is. It's a little bit similar to that feeling.
I feel like you have the analogies on lock today. I've really got like a full
Well, that's because there is like a whole sitcom, and most of the time it's an animated series happening in my brain, and I just pictured a bunch of 5-year-olds throwing graduation caps, and those 5-year-olds are the songs on the record.
Well, the record truly is amazing, and I think one of the coolest parts of my job that I always tell everyone is before the album comes out, we get to have a little sneak peek. So I get to listen and hear. And, think about these questions and what I want to ask you and get like a preemptive version of this album. And it's just so good. And I'm so excited for your fans to hear. And so I know they're going to have a lot of questions about some of the songs on there. So we prepared a little game for you, Ashley. So this is called our 5 First. Okay. Typically we do it to like first time scenarios and we do a whole wide range of things. But this time we based it on your track list. So you ready to play a little game with us?
I love games.
I know you do. I know you'd appreciate this. Okay, here we go. So this is on our your track, Coldest Beer in Town. Tell me about the first time you ever tried the coldest beer in town.
The first time I tried a beer, it wasn't cold at all. It was in a cooler at a friend's house, and her dad must have just left it in the garage. And I was like, I'll try a beer. Hot beer? It's so bad. But I will say that one of the coldest beers I've ever had was in a bar here in Nashville called Twin Kegs.
Oh,
yeah, when you find a truly cold beer, you're like, and then you mark where it is.
This hits. Okay, There you go. I love that. All right. Well, I'm also going to ask you about the term Blackout Betty, which was another favorite on the record. Tell me about the first time you used the term Blackout Betty. Where did that come from?
I think I don't remember if I called myself Blackout Betty for the very first time or if someone said it to me. But generally, when it was used, it would be something similar to, "Well, I got to get home if I can figure out where Blackout Betty put my keys."
Your alter ego.
Or, "Hi guys, where did Blackout Betty charge my phone?"
It's got to be somewhere. It's somewhere in the bar. Okay, so how would you describe Blackout Betty? Who is Blackout Betty?
She is a blast. Um, when I have had a little too much, when I've been overserved, I am still a delight. But I will do some of this, well, like we all do. I do some of the stupidest things. And then the next day, that's where the song kicks in, where you're just beating yourself up over it. And you're like, why do you do so many stupid things?
Oh, we've all been there. That's why the song is so relatable. Did you have this idea for a long time that you wanted to make a song like this one?
We had been calling me Blackout Betty for a little while, and then I went into a co-write one day and didn't feel awesome, if you know what I mean. So we just
Mm-hmm.
went ahead and wrote what I was feeling. I think some people call it the Sunday scaries, but it wasn't a Sunday. So we just needed to write that anxiety out of me, and Blackout Betty came out.
Oh yeah. We call it hangxiety. You're hanging
Yes,
anxiety.
yes.
It's good. Okay, what about in honor of Learn to Lie? Tell me about the first time you ever got caught in a lie.
I would imagine it would have been lying to my mother about something because I'm the youngest of six children. And when something would go wrong, you could like blame it down the line, right? And then you get to me, and I'm like, the dog wrote on the wall. It's something similar to that, I'm sure. Actually, you know what I bet it was? Is I used to eat out of the sugar bowl when I was little. I would just like take berries and dip them
Like
in
just like
there. I just talked to my sister about this recently. My mom came to me and said, "Have you been eating out of the sugar bowl?" And I said, "No." And she asked me again. I said, "No." And she opened the sugar bowl and showed me that there was a bunch of red strawberry drippy little nuggets in the, she was like, "Have you been eating out of the sugar bowl?" And I was like, "Yes."
so you admit it. Hey, that's good. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're right. You can't blame that on the dog.
Yeah, but at least I still don't do that.
Yeah, true.
At least
True.
I don't still dip
Does
stuff in the
Blackout
sugar
Betty do
bowl.
that? Maybe.
Definitely.
Okay, how about in honor of my favorite on the album by far? This one got me, Ashley. Single at the Same Time. Lord have mercy. You ripped my
Ooh.
heart out with that one. I'm curious to hear. Tell me about the first time you ever fell in love.
Oh man, the first time I ever fell in love. Like the first time I thought I fell in love. I think I was in the fifth grade. His name was Jason Fitcher. I thought he was the coolest guy on the planet. He was like super tough and he had like a really cool jacket. And I just remember being like, oh, every time he walked past me.
Did anything ever happen with Jason Pitcher?
Yeah, no, no, just not a big dating scene in the fifth grade, sadly. But there were several other times throughout my life that I think I really fell in love with the experience of falling in love, and we really tap into that when we're in college, and we're just like, I just want to do this over and over, and boy, that gets exhausting.
Does. And then you have a song like Single at the Same Time, which I feel like explores this feeling that we've all had of like, if maybe this was different, or if I could go back and maybe at a different time. And it explores a lot of those themes that we've all felt. Take me back to this writing room when you heard this song. Like, how did this come to life?
We were at the kitchen table at Benji Davis's house. It's me and Benji and Andy, and we're all kind of just throwing titles around. And when Benji says "single at the same time," just thought about it for a second. And how would I, why do I want to say that? Oh, what could have been if we ever would have been single at the same time? And then immediately, of course, someone pops in your mind.
Mm,
And then you're like, oh, now I have a platform to write this from. And
mm.
of course, everybody who's writing the song, and you're like, who are you pulling from? And they're like, none of your business. And I'm still asked, they're like, who is this song about? And I'm like, it's none of your business. Plus, if I tell you, then they will know. And that's a whole different conversation.
Let me tell you this: when this person hears this song, do you think they're gonna know?
There's a good chance.
Ooh. Okay, so that makes it even like more exciting.
Right.
Living for the drama. It's amazing. Actually, I love that. That's such an interesting story. Okay, I want to ask you this, and this is a twofold because this is another one that really surprised me on the album. I wasn't sure what to expect in the meaning behind it, but tell me the first time you realized you were made for this.
I knew from when I was really small that my first house would be a tour bus. And back then I thought you bought them because that is an option. But I knew that I wanted to live on a tour bus. And we went to bluegrass festivals a lot when I was younger, spent a lot of time in like little campers and not like the fancy ones, and just very primitive campers.
Mm.
So rolling down the highway on multiple wheels and making bus sandwiches and all that is really up my alley. But before you ever get to a bus, you're in a van with a bunch of other people, a lot of dudes. And sometimes you're sharing a bench seat with somebody and picking who sleeps on the window, and your food choices are all crap and your sleep schedule is just non-existent. And once a day you still have to dress up and go and do the thing that you love to do. So first we toured in my Toyota Tundra, and then we moved to the van. And especially on nights when you're being knocked all around on these crappy roads and everything, or you're trying really hard to stay awake for your, two of you have to stay awake at the same time so that someone is driving and someone is keeping them awake. And when you get that very first, oh my God, this is miserable feeling, and then you go, yeah, this is it. This is it. And for some people, it's being working on an ambulance or working in a fire truck or doing things like that, where they get that, oh man, this is dangerous, or man, this is miserable, but yeah. And that I was like, also probably playing in bars when it's really chaotic and no one's really listening. And then you do something that catches the whole room's attention and everybody looks your way. Then you go, got him. And then that feeling, you'll chase it for the rest of your life.
Wow. I think that's one of the reasons why I love this song too. I feel like you gave us an inside look. I feel like a lot of us have an idea of what an artist's life might be like, or what it's like to be on the road constantly, or to be on a stage. But you gave us some more raw idea of what that actually might look like and the sacrifices that go into that too. For you, looking back, like on those earliest choices, would you do anything different?
No, I wouldn't trade a second of it. And even in times where we were squeezing, we try to take somebody to take pictures with us on the road, but we're still in a 12 passenger van. And so that means multiple of us are sitting, to a seat, and somebody's having to sleep in the floor. And it's just, I wouldn't trade any moment of that. And those moments when you're miserable and in the van, and then you get to the venue and there isn't a green room, and you're just, ugh, but then you get on stage and do the thing, that payoff, like I said, you'll chase it the rest of your life and you'll get to access it every night. But the only way to access that feeling is by being miserable and riding in the van and having a sweaty butt and having to wear the same sweats every night and not having a hotel room. And sometimes your gear gets stolen and you have to, work to get it back. But being on stage at night is the payoff if you're made for it.
And then I feel like it just makes the journey, when you do get to this like I made it moment, or you're winning a Grammy, you're releasing an album, it's like I feel like it just, if those things hadn't happened, it wouldn't have prepared you for this moment the way that it did.
Right. And when the really good things happen and the big milestones come, you can stand there in your boots and or your heels and say, this moment is mine because I earned it. Every mile of it, every half
Mm.
inch of stage of it, every note of it. Nobody can take that from you.
Wow. Just give me full chills. I love that, Ashley. That's such a beautiful story. Okay, we've got one more for you. We end the album with a song called The 6th of October. So tell me the first time you realized the significance of the date, the 6th of October.
When we're writing the song, and the first portion of the song comes in, my buddy CJ already has this first little blip because he had driven in from Massachusetts and had to sleep in Christiansburg, VA. And he comes out with that first part. And then we get to this other part where I said, I've been saying I was sober since the 6th of October because it just felt like it was good. We had a friend, a co writer, that had passed away, and CJ had started the beginning of that song with him. And we started writing a little bit of his story just to kind of pay tribute a little bit because he was such a character. He was a circus clown before he was a songwriter. And then when we got done writing the song, we realized that was around the time that we found out that we weren't going to be able to keep him with us anymore. And so then we're like, I'll just be damned. We nailed it with the 6th of October. Fast forward to last year, I'm on TV talking to Gail King, and Garth Brooks invites me to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry. and I'm crying, and my mom is there. And when we left the studio, I called my brother Daniel, and I was like, "Do you have any idea who you're talking to? I'm the newest member of the Grand Ole Opry." And he said, "Sissy, it's October 6th." I'm like, and so the hits just keep on coming. And the tour, the Devil I Know tour,
Wow.
starts on, and so Randall, our friend, was from Florida. And on the 6th of October, where will I be? In Florida. And I'm playing around. Yeah.
Wow.
And then on October 7th, the tour starts.
That is so serendipitous.
It's
That is
just the
so.
universe weaving cool stuff together and being like, I wonder if she'll get it. Like, it's a theme.
What do you think Randall would think of the full track of the full record?
He would love it. And he would be so tickled that he got the last word.
So is that why you ended with this track?
Yeah. Because when we got to the end, we thought, if Randall were here right now, what would he say to all of us reckless hearts? He would say, live in the rhythm, the rhymes when you get them, and the notes when you miss them, because you drank all night long. And then I just thought, that'd be the best way to end the record. In all of his running, he showed me something. Dying ain't nothing. I can't prove him wrong. That's him.
Oh,
Back when he
oh.
was a circus clown.
When did you get that?
Shortly after he passed, and we wrote the song 6 or 8 months after he passed. And it really, in writing it and trying to, pay tribute to our buddy, we really just were celebrating all of us reckless fools who are naive enough to just want to keep doing this and keep trying and keep chasing dreams and know what it's like to catch them and not be ashamed of who we are.
Ashley, that's incredible. I mean, what an amazing story, truly. And what a way to honor not only your friend, but all the people that have been on this journey with you this entire time in this record, in this album, in that song.
Thank you.
Truly incredible. And one thing that we love to do at iHeart, obviously, we feel like we got to know you a little bit through this album, through this interview, but we want to give you a second. If you want to say anything to your fans that have been riding with you for a long time, maybe the new ones that are going to find you on our iHeart pages, anything that you want to say to your fans right now?
Oh, I mean, if you're just now joining us and you're playing along at home, we're so happy you're here. I'm Ashley, and I'll show you the show. These are my guys. These are the men I make music with. And we're going to stand up here and play a whole bunch of songs we made up. And if you've been with me from the word go, thank you. And as you know, if you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up.
And thank you for showing up for us always, and for putting your heart and soul into your music, because we always appreciate it and we love it. And actually, we are so excited for you. Congratulations on the album, on the CMA nominations, on everything that's coming your way. It is so well deserved.
Thank you.